Alright, so, post-nerf and pre-nerf. This one right here is a video by Hammerdance again. Is this the right move? Pre-nerf versus post-nerf? A really hot debate right now in the Classic WoW community, especially for TBC. So, this one thing is splitting the community in half for TBC Classic. We're going to watch the video here and see what he has to say, because for me, I've been talking a lot about my opinions. I want to see some other opinions on this. Like, I'm just going to say it once again before he starts talking here. I mean,
what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you.
I'm just going to do this at least, and then I'll pause it at this exact moment, because that right there is perfect facial expression. Okay, so with this right here, what I'm going to say, my perfect version would be to have post-nerf heroic dungeons and pre-nerf raids, with the option to toggle on post-nerf raids. And if you do pre-nerf raids, you get one more piece of loot per boss. If you do post-nerf, you get one less piece of loot per boss. Like, I don't really see the problem in having a toggle where you can allow the people that want to do pre-nerf, and you can allow the people that don't want to do pre-nerf to do post-nerf. And yes, you will have this argument of, oh, but the people that have to do post-nerf will feel so bad, because now they can't do the raid on the highest difficulty. Well, some people are just bad, and some people are just good. It is what it is. I love heroic raids, it's why I love Wrath, for example. I don't know. Give people the ability to choose. Give toggles.
You guys about something that everyone has been asking me about lately on my stream, in the comments of all my videos, and that's going to be the pre-nerf versus post-nerf raids and heroics, and how do I feel about what Blizzard is deciding to do going forward, which they haven't really decided anything yet, right? They're just testing right now. Currently, the state that we're in on the PTR, which is what I'm on currently in this video, is we have pre-nerf heroics and post-nerf raids. Karazhan, Gruul's Lair, and Magtheridon's Lair. I know a lot of you in the comments are basically saying that we need pre-nerf status for all of these things because it's going to increase the longevity of TBC. The shelf life's going to be longer. It's going to stay alive for a lot longer. And I'll be honest with you, you guys know that I'm usually pretty controversial and I have no problem sharing my thoughts and opinions.
Yeah, but
I don't think this is the case at all. Now, for me, I don't think any of it is an issue. I could deal with pre-nerf, I could deal with post-nerf.
That's what I feel as well. To me, it doesn't matter too much. If the raids are pre-nerf, that's cool. If the raids are post-nerf, that's cool. But, like, even though it's not really an issue, I still wanna, like, voice my opinion on what's happening as well, because, yes, I'm gonna play and enjoy TBC no matter what happens. But I do believe the current state is kind of weird. They are trying to, like, they tested recently on the PTR, Public Test Realm, with pre-nerf heroic dungeons and post-nerf raids. And to me that is so weird because of the progression curve of how gearing works, where typically sometimes you start with normal dungeons, then you have heroic dungeons, and then you have raids. Well, if we have pre-nerf heroic dungeons and post-nerf raids, post-nerf raids are easier than heroic dungeons in pretty much every single case, or at least many cases. So you're basically incentivized to do the raid first, and then get better gear from the raid, to then do dungeons as the actual hard content. To me, when I think about World of Warcraft, I think of dungeons as a stepping stone to then do the raid, which is the hard content. So shifting that around just seems so antithetical to what World of Warcraft has been to me, and it's so weird. So, like, why not do it the other way around? If we're going to do something here, if you want to have something pre-nerf, give us post-nerf heroic dungeons and pre-nerf raids. But I think the best case would be, like, if they want to really have only one decision, give us post-nerf everything. Because, well, let the people that want to challenge themselves do speedrunning. But also, we don't need to have one or the other. We can have toggles. We can have toggle for pre-nerf and post-nerf, and just have slight incentives to do pre-nerf. Like one more piece of loot per kill. That can be for heroic dungeons and also for raids, where you have a toggle for both, and you have once again a slight incentive to do pre-nerf content over post-nerf content. But the people that can't do pre-nerf, or don't want to have the challenge but just want to do easy mode, they can toggle onto post-nerf, get slightly less loot, but still be okay.
I'm a little bit above average player. I'm not the best I don't really find any of it that challenging. And I personally don't see pre-nerf making me play longer. I'm going to play regardless, right? But there is this stigma, I guess, that people have with saying that post-nerf everything is going to be too easy. People are going to quit way sooner. People are going to stop playing. And here's my take on that. I truly don't believe this. I actually think that releasing everything in a post-nerf state is just better for the entire player base, right? The only thing that comes with pre-nerf is going to be more gatekeeping for the casual players, which more than half of the player base is casual, whether you like it or not. And that's a good thing, right? Casual players are usually what keep MMOs alive, especially MMOs. A lot of games, but especially MMOs. So when you start catering to more of the sweaty player base, the casuals are going to have a hard time, and then they're going to get burnt out and quit. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Whether you release everything pre-nerf or post-nerf, those sweaty players are going to either keep playing or quit regardless. They're not going to quit because it's in a post-nerf state, and they're not going to keep playing because it's in a post-nerf state. If someone had the intentions of coming back to TBC, which this is a lot of people and a lot of sweaty players, they have the intentions of coming back to TBC, playing phase 1 and then quitting. You don't know how many people I've heard this from. So those people,
there are a lot of those people who just want to be there for phase 1, and then a lot of people also will be there for phase 1, and then take a break in phase 2 and phase 3, and come back again in phase 4. Basically, there's some people that are really excited for certain parts of TBC, and not that excited for other parts of TBC. I will say, I'm kind of in the same camp, by the way. I don't really think phase 2 is as good as phase 1, and I think for me, the peak is basically the start of TBC and the end of TBC. I'm probably weird in that sense, and it might be some weird nostalgia attached to certain raids as well, but like, I love the beginning of TBC, I love phase 1 when you're farming out to the attunements, heroic dungeons, and I do like the raids as well of phase 1. I also love Black Temple, when we get to Black Temple, and I love, what's it called again, dude, bro? Not the raid, but the dungeon, Magister's Terrace, right? I don't know, I just have a weird attachment to that dungeon, I guess, from having farmed it for the mount in retail. I also farmed for Ashes of Alar, but I got that on the second attempt, so I didn't really have to farm that much. But yeah, like TBC Classic the first time, I took a break in after phase 1, and I came back in phase 3, and I didn't really mind. I might try to play the entire thing now, just so I can say that I've played the entire thing, but yeah, I don't know, there's going to be some breaks here and there, but I'm really excited for TBC no matter what. And for the people that really want to, well, challenge themselves, they will already do so by doing something called speedrunning, and they will challenge themselves by trying to clear the raid faster and faster and faster. So I feel like, once again, if they have to make one decision, post-nerf is probably the way to go, but if we're gonna have post-nerf raids, I also want to have post-nerf dungeons, just because it feels weird to me that dungeons is the hard content, and raid is the easy content. So if they're going to make a hard decision, I would say post-nerf everything. If they want to have any pre-nerf, I would rather have pre-nerf raids than pre-nerf dungeons, just to keep the progression curve the same, so dungeons are easy and raids are hard, but post-nerf everything would be great as well. But also, why not give us the toggle option? I just don't see I don't see what's the problem with the toggle, man. I mean, other than more development, sure. But yeah.
people are going to do that regardless of post-nerf or pre-nerf. The people who are going to keep playing are the casuals that really take maybe 3 or 4 months to get their first level 70, and they probably don't even step foot into Karazhan until SSC and TK are out in the game, right? These are the players that Blizzard is going to cater to when they do these post-nerf launches, which I hope they do, because casual players keep the game alive. None of it is a challenge for a lot of people that are good at the game, that are, I would say, average or above, right? It's not hard. No one is coming back to play TBC for a third time because they want it to be hard. Let's understand that.
Yeah.
And if you are someone that's coming back because you want hard raids, I mean, you could literally just go play retail. There's hard raids there. And you got to understand that for the casual players, which is more than half.
Okay. Okay. You know, okay. I'm gonna say it. I am really over this argument of, if you want X and X is not in Classic, go play retail. If you want rated battlegrounds, go play retail. If you want a different PvP system than we have in Classic WoW, go play retail. If you want a dual talent, go play retail. If you want hard raids, go play retail. At a certain time, it's okay to want something in Classic WoW like aspect, instead of liking retail. And I say this as somebody who likes retail. I play retail. I'm literally playing retail in the background as we are talking here. I'm a retail Andy and a classic Andy. I play both. But I'm getting tired of this whole, just play retail. You don't like this? Just play retail. It's okay to want certain aspects in Classic without feeling like you have to go and play retail. If you want harder raids, it's okay to want harder raids in Classic and still not want retail. Like, just because you want harder raids doesn't mean you want to have the weak or a shit show that retail is. Sure, that's going away in Midnight now, big cool, but it doesn't mean that you want to have the retail gameplay. That argument right there, I think, was trash. Like, if you want hard raids, go play retail. Retail is so much more than just hard raids. What if you want Classic WoW, but hard raids, and you want to, like, actually experience progress instead of loot pinata in Classic WoW? He doesn't mean that, by the way, like the way he said it. Also, I see that I'm probably... Actually, you know what? He's just having a... Like, he's talking over here. He's not doing anything in the webcam in the bottom left, so it's okay. I was covering his face here, but that's okay. Yeah, it's just a voiceover. But yeah, like, he doesn't mean this, but it's just the whole go to retail argument. It's so dumb. It's so overplayed. And it's so dumb.
For the people that play Classic WoW, there's way more casuals than sweats. For those people, even post-nerf is going to be a slight challenge, right? For the pre-nerf raiders that want pre-nerf, the sweats, the really good players, pre-nerf's not going to be hard, post-nerf's not going to be hard. It doesn't matter. They're going to clear the content regardless, is my point, okay? That's how I look at it. I'm going to clear the content no matter what it is. Post-nerf, pre-nerf, whatever. I would actually rather them just make it accessible. The only thing that comes along with the pre-nerf stuff is now you're just adding a layer of gatekeeping for the casual and just below average player, or even just the average player, which I personally don't think is fair. This is the third re-release of TBC. No one wants this to be hard. Let's just let everyone play and have a good time. I think that is the right decision. I know Blizzard is going to listen to community feedback, which I think is also a good thing. And you know what? At the end of the day, if more people say they want pre-nerf than post-nerf...
Is he going to be using this raid footage the entire time? I think he is, yeah. Even though he's not, like, actively talking in the bottom left, I'm just going to move myself into the top left, okay? There we go, slightly better. Like, nothing really exciting happening in the top left anyway.
That's what people want. That's what people want. I have no issue with it. I'm just looking out for the casual player. I'm looking out for the player base that's going to keep TBC running. The people who do take a long time to level characters. You know, I'm not talking about the people who are going to have 5 level 70s doing split runs by week 3 or week 4. They're going to play regardless. And you know what? If they quit, though, they were going to quit regardless anyway. They're not going to quit because it's in a post-nerf state. And that I really do stand on that. And I think that that is super important for Blizzard to recognize. Now, I do feel that there is a really, really good way Blizzard can go about figuring out if this is the right decision or not. They could just poll the community. Everyone who has an active sub or is actively playing Anniversary with intentions of moving into the Burning Crusade and playing TBC Anniversary should answer a polling system. And in the polling system, it should break down what pre-nerf means and what post-nerf means. What actually are the nerfs, right? The nerfs aren't just to health or damage or anything. They're all different for everything, right? Look at Magtheridon's Lair. Clicking your cubes, you don't get a debuff, right? So it's a lot easier. You just have one person clicking on a cube and then a backup for that person if they died, instead of having to cycle through a bunch of people. This really does make it a lot easier. Now, is that mechanic hard for sweaty players in the pre-nerf state? Absolutely not. They're almost never going to mess it up. But in a pre-nerf state for a casual raiding experience or a pug, it's going to be an issue, right? You're going to have a lot of wipes, people who get disconnected, people who get, you know, wife aggro or husband aggro, whatever, in the middle of that pull and forget to click. Now you wipe the raid. Now people leave. It just creates a really weird experience. And I cleared Gruul Mag this weekend on the PTR, one shot at all, no problem. And with scuffed pulls, with people playing with, you know, not their correct UI, no weak auras, no add-ons, half the raid doesn't have.
I will say, by the way, I tuned into quite a few streams, not by Hammerdance, but like various other people as well, on the PTR. I didn't really play the PTR myself for raid testing due to awkward times and other commitments, but yeah, I tuned into some streams whenever I could, and I saw some people wiping. So raids, even in post-nerf, if you are expecting to go in there in dungeon greens and one-shot bosses, I would say you probably have to think again. Some people might be able to do that if they really know their class, they can min-max their DPS output, they have a great group synergy, the right compositions. You could probably go in with very minimal gear and still clear the raid. But in a full pug, where you have some people that have no idea what they do and the raid leader has no idea how to lead, there's gonna be some wipes.
Have that. I didn't. I played completely raw. We got to take this thing out. Get this thing away from me. And I think that what I really learned and what I saw from that... Hold on. Let's just get rid of this thing.
Did he forget to move from the raid screen to the... We're getting like... Yeah, we're getting stuff from his game. But it's only like stream overlay. Okay.
What I learned and what I saw from that was basically that post-nerf status allows for, you know, mess-ups. It allows for those screw-ups, those scuffed pulls, your tank getting one shot off the rip randomly. We recovered. That happened in all of our pulls. Someone randomly pulled mag, you know, with their pet. And that's okay. People are going to do that. It's going to happen. There's nothing wrong with that. It's part of the game. When you're playing with 25 other people, it's bound to happen. But releasing all of this stuff in a post-nerf status allows for that to happen, and you could still recover, have a good time, not wipe. We didn't wipe once. We one-shot everything in like under an hour. It was still fun. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Will I still raid and clear and have a good time pre-nerf? Absolutely. I'm just looking out for more of that player base that maybe didn't get to experience any of this content last time, or they didn't play back in the day and they weren't around for Classic this time. There's a lot of people that came into TBC new this time, a lot of new players, which I know that sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, I get the comments, I get the whispers in game. These people are new. This is the first time they're ever playing Classic WoW. These people are going to enjoy themselves in a post-nerf status. I do truly believe it's going to be healthier for TBC overall. I think it'll make TBC live a lot longer if we get that. And this is kind of crazy that we keep aggroing these things. It's kind of really annoying. So we're going to just back up and we're going to just kill it because it's annoying me. And I just wanted to make this video in hopes that maybe Blizzard's...
Bro, why don't you just fly in the air? Like, if you want to have the TBC thing in the background, just, I don't know, instead of aggroing mobs so we can't even see them. Damn it.
Sees it and kind of listens to my take on this. I know there's a lot of you out there that are crying for pre-nerf, and I get it. But you gotta understand that for a lot of the player base, pre-nerf is going to be too much. Whereas for the good players, pre-nerf, post-nerf, it's all going to feel relatively the same for us. It's not going to make that big of a difference. If you're going to quit because you're bored because it's post-nerf, you were probably going to quit regardless. Let's be real. Let's not sugarcoat it. Like, if that's how you feel, you're going to quit anyway. And that's my take on it. I just wanted to make this video and hope maybe one of the devs sees it and maybe they can do a poll. I think a poll would be fantastic.
Yeah, no, the poll is not going to happen, by the way. There's a 99% chance of it not happening. Sure, it's okay to hope for that 1%, but that's what it is. It's hope. Shouldn't expect the 1%.
Fantastic. If they could just launch a poll and ask people and explain in pre-nerf, this is how the raids will be. In post-nerf, this is what changes. This is how much easier it is. Give us a statistic, a percentage. It's 37% easier in post-nerf status, which means that 75% of the player base will actually get to clear content this time. Seeing these numbers would make a big difference in how people feel about it. Listen, I get it. My sweaty boys, the pre-nerf boys, I get it. You know what I mean? But my casuals, I get it too. I understand why people are on both sides of this fence. My personal opinion is that post-nerf is going to be better. It's going to make the game overall more accessible. It's going to get rid of a lot of gatekeeping. And I think that gatekeeping in a 20-plus-year-old game on the third launch of this expansion is kind of silly at this point. But we know it'll happen if we get, especially if we get pre-nerf status raids and heroics. Heroics, don't even get me started. Heroics definitely should be post-nerf. People are going to have a miserable time in pre-nerf heroics.
There we go, that's what I've been saying. Like, if they're gonna do post-nerf raids, they should also do post-nerf heroics. This is crazy. But just because of, like, number one, the heroics are hard to begin with, but number two, why are heroic dungeons more difficult than raids?
Be real. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Also, super important. We are recruiting in the tavern. We are on Night Slayer. We are on Horde. We are recruiting average or above players. Unfortunately, we do need to fill out our raid group for our 25 mans. We have a few slots left.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, I was going to apply as well, and then it said average or above. I'm way below.
Open. We are recruiting. You know, you just have to basically be able to know how to play your class. So not asking for giga sweats.
Yeah, there we go. That's strike number 2. Know how to play your class. I'm out. Feels bad, man.
Stuff, but we also don't want to carry people either. We have a lot of people who are just kind of like ex-sweaty, ex-hardcore players. We just want to clear the content and have fun. So if you are looking for a guild to raid with on Night Slayer Horde, hit me up, join the Discord from the description below, and, you know, hit up the general chat in the Discord. Someone will get you in the guild. We are trying to round out our 25-man roster for raiding in TBC. There's some slots open, so if that's something that interests you, join the Discord with the link in the description, and, you know, we'll get you in the guild, and we'll see if we can make it work. We'll see if we can get you a slot. But anyways, guys, I'm back to streaming on Twitch as the main platform. So follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/hammerdance.
Damn.
I stream Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern most nights. If I'm not going to be live, I usually let everyone know in the Discord. But most of the time, 5 nights a week, twitch.tv/hammerdance. Drop a follow on there. We're going to be going nuts when pre-patch launches. But anyways, like the video, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. I love you guys. Thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one very soon.
All right, there we go. That was a good video. And a good discussion. A important discussion as well. We will see what ends up happening when it comes to a pre- and post-nerf. It feels like Blizzard is still trying to figure it out as well, based on PTR testing. Like, the whole pre-nerf heroics isn't set in stone. This is just something that they wanted to try on the PTR and gather some feedback on, I guess. So, we'll see. I really hope that if they're going for the post-nerf route, that everything is post-nerf, but maybe I'm the only one who feels that way. I don't know. I feel like when it comes to challenging yourself, like, either we need to have the toggle, so you can toggle pre-nerf or post-nerf to toggle on a certain difficulty of the raid, or challenge yourself by doing speedrunning.